Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been here, but I thought we would kick off the summer series of podcast interviews talking about Professional Integration Day. Now, Professional Integration Day is something that we do in the Lineage to support the healers that come and train with us. And instead of me explaining it all, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I just asked the team, and get their perspective. So, Tanmaya, welcome. It's lovely to have you on the show again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. So today we're talking about Professional Integration Day, right?
Yes. Now I know that you're, you're a professional within the Lineage, but also professional, in your consulting world as well. So, this word professional can mean something different to different people, can't it? So I was wondering if you could help us understand why you choose to attend Professional Integration Day and how it differs in a lineage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first time I attended, I was I think really excited. I'm trying to remember now. But then there was a few times where I attended where I wasn't feeling excited about coming. And I reflected on that and I wondered why it was the case. And I realized that there was something in me that I was trying to avoid. Some kind of emotion, sometimes something I needed to face within myself that, I was able to navigate and walk around. And so going to Professional Integration Day actually helped me to see some things about myself that I didn't see before. Because it in a way creates that structure and that environment. You come back to the temple, you're there with all other practitioners, you exchange the life activation, but you're also recommitting to the light, and that almost takes you to the next level of your progression. Although you're not taking a new class, you're not learning a new modality, but you are leveling up by attending in a way. And I think those times where I felt that resistance to go were the ones where I felt I benefited the most from actually going.
I love that. I love that point because I too have felt that somehow, it comes up and there's a huge healing that takes place. Huge.
Yeah.
And I feel the best way that I can explain, I feel like I've been cleaned up or something. It's being in that it's a very magical process, actually, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it is. It takes the dust off, like sometimes the dust settles a little bit. Yes, maybe we're doing life activations, maybe we aren't, but it's very different to be doing it with so many others and to exchange, to receive and give on the same day in the temple. There, it just kind of shakes off all those residues that we might we just might need to have to let go at that point. And I also feel like there's something that happens when we connect to other light workers in this way, because sometimes we can be a little bit isolated on our path, on our journey, and doing our work, but receiving from others is so important. And that's the beauty of the Professional Integration Days, that you're not just giving, you're also receiving the life activation and you're spending time with others. So I think that is part of what was so healing about it for me.
Yeah, that is a big key, because we talk about this thing called Shambhala, coming together, but that's community.
Yeah.
So, if we're not coming together, and being together, then, how are we going to ever create this Shambhala? How are we going to live it?
Yeah.
So I love that for Professional Integration Day. And I love that we have that in place as one time a year where we know we're all going to come together, as, Professional Integration Day for life activation practitioners, or maybe for healers, or maybe for guides. We have different ones that we have, and I feel that too, because it's a group of like-minded people that have been through this same path, the same initiation process. Questions come up, and high-level initiates are there to answer those questions and things like that, the leadership. So there's so much that goes on, isn't there?
Exactly. And there's so much you get out of it as a practitioner as well, in terms of how you're doing the life activation, because you learned it, and everyone who has done the 5 days of healers will know how to do a life activation. But to master something, it takes many layers, right? So we got the knowledge, we got the understanding, and then we applied it, and we received, that wisdom. But then we have to empty our cup again, and see if there's maybe further refinements needed. And that's what I got, especially my first time of professional integration day. I realized that there was a few things I was kind of doing this way. I was supposed to be doing it that way. And it was really good for me to get that information, because otherwise, I wouldn't have adjusted that. So that's very important. Yeah.
I agree with that, because I think I remember it I think it was in Sovereign Ipsissimus Dave's book, but I've definitely heard him say several times, you're never good enough that you can't get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's the true master, and I think we see this in martial arts and things like that. They practice time and time and time again. There's always something, a different level. And of course, we know on the path that we are getting to know ourselves, so we're shedding so much, so understanding each process at a deeper level, through application. This is a chance to really have access to that in this temple setting. So that's a really great point.
Yes. Yeah. I got a lot out of that. And I wanted that because ultimately, no matter how many life activations you do, the one life activation is going to change so much in people's lives. So you want it to be, you want to be fresh in your skill set, and you want to know what you're doing and to remember the steps. So just being in that flow of the light is so helpful for that. Mm-hmm.
And I love the way that you said it reconnects us, to the light, reconnects us and reaffirms, and having that in our lineage helps us to say, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
This is what I commit to do. Did you find that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's very different from, other professional integrations days I might have attended, because we have, there's this magic, the magic of the lineage, right? Where you just feel supported by all those that have come before you, and you feel that strength that comes with that. And then equally as well, that light that shines, and it shines bright, and it helps us to see what we need to see about ourselves to progress, because ultimately it's all about, moving forward, kind of expanding, exploring who we can be beyond the limitations of this particular moment, always kind of expanding the frontier. It never ends, really, in our life and in our service. We're always growing and expanding. And what I think is so important to understand is that it's not about taking more classes. It's not always about taking the next thing. Sometimes it's really about applying what we have, and applying that, we grow and we expand, and we learn so much about ourselves. And professional integration today is really about that, right? It's about going deeper with what we already have, rather than always thinking I have to do the next thing and the next thing. And yes, it's a prerequisite, right, for further study, of course. But it's also about understanding deeply what you already have, and applying that, because it's such a magical tool. It's the foundation of everything. With the life activation, we change everything.
It's so true, so true. Thank you so much for that insight. Is there anything else that you would like to add on that? And I know that you're extremely successful guide and an extremely successful leader in our community. So I know you understand the value of this, and it's wonderful for to hear your thoughts and what you have received from this. So I hope that many will be able to join us. And we have professional integration days happening all over the world, and in the UK and EU we have them in October for the life activation practitioners and for the healers in our lineage. And of course, we know that we go to Toronto in May for any of those that are guides. We all come together. So if you need any more information, please don't hesitate to email us in admin@modernmysteryschooluk.com. We'll be happy to to help you and direct you accordingly as to where you are in the world. So thank you, Tanmaya.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for organizing this for us all. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care, everyone. We'll take care. See you soon.
Bye-bye.